Is that not the craziest frickin' intro you have ever heard? That was an intro by Cruisin', and that was pretty freaking good. Welcome guys to Audio 202. This is Cecil bringing to you a Night Elf versus Human commentary. Kind of a basic rundown of this is to explain what, in my opinion, is abuse-worthy. Actually, I'll go into a little more detail after we get this whole thing situated here. By the way, get it paused at the 15-second mark at the 1x speed. Probably two of the strats right now that are kind of getting out of hand is the one that I'm going to show you today, and another one has started to go through the cracks, and that's the Blade Master first, gets all the bats and all that lovely, crap that pisses Night Elf off. Well, my next one, I might probably go into the Blade Master and what have you, but for this one, this is a human thing. This is actually for the human players out there, because I really feel your pain on this, because this is a bitch. So anyways, we're going to get this unpaused in 3 seconds, so get ready to fire this up here. 3, 2, 1, unpause. And these are one of the last games I just whipped up an account just to put some new strats in, plug in some new things. At this time I really didn't feel like having people know who the account was, but now, since it doesn't really matter, since the account is trash anyways, from all the crap I've done on it, it's, this is one of the other ones I have made. I have made a different Smurf now to try new crap on that hopefully won't get its record so botched up here. So here we go. We have just starting off with the Ancient of War and the Moonwell, just getting ready to get the Dark Ranger. By the way, that is a strategy I will be introducing to you guys. And the reason why I picked this replay out of all is because a little history on the matches that I've played versus Sankey. I think in all the matches that I've played versus him, he has beaten me except for this one. Now, and this one gets pretty one-sided as well. So, I mean, his micro is friggin' fantastic and everything, so this strategy really doesn't require a lot of power into it to really make it work. So, this is what really pisses Human off. I'll go through a brief outline of the disadvantages that a Human has. Well, I'll just say it. Silence, okay? You can't really do much. If you TP in there, they just find the pocket where you're TPing to, and then they silence every single unit in there. Your priests can't do crap, and you're going to be silenced. You can't cancel out all the skeletons that you have up against you, or anything. It's frustrating as hell. If you call militia, you're just feeding the Night Elf player a bunch of skeletons, and it's really, really difficult to put up with that. And I thought of so many ways that it could win, and I have yet to lose with this strategy by a landslide. Can't really think of anything that much. Just testing out if the old TFT beta bug is still around. It's not. You can't shoot a critter and raise something off of it, but they are not spell immune, so you can cast Fairy Fire on them and all that lovely stuff, and if you do misclick, you can do a level 3 Death Coil on a sheep, and it is so humiliating. So, keep that in mind. I know I've entangled one before. So anyways, just catching up on his scout. With these two skeletons with you, you can go for some pretty heavy creeping. So here I go. Just gonna start right away on the Ogre Warriors. They'll go down pretty quickly. I just back up, wait for the creeps to start getting pissed off at the skeleton. Just keep it going on. And so here comes Saki. He's ready to try to do some damage to me. So the first thing I do, I just tap alt a little bit. I don't hit that footman right away because I had a few archers that needed to be in great shape here, but I wanted to get rid of that water elemental perhaps. So that's why I detonated. So I'm gonna wait a little bit until he gets engrossed into this creeping, which he is. So now I make my move back there, wait for him to use his stun. So he does that. I get next to that rock golem there. He manages to get the potion of invulnerability. I got the cloak of shadows at least. But he surrounds my Dark Ranger, so I use that cloak right there. And that buys me a little bit of time to raise another skeleton off of the footman. But at this point, when I have the creeps trying to hit me as well, it doesn't really last very long. So I'm just going to keep on picking off these weak footmen. They go down very, very quickly. The more you kill, the more of a dramatic advantage you have, because it's pretty crazy. You just get one up on them, they lose one, you gain one. I mean, it's like twice the kill on the units. So you can't really harass early game. If you try to tower rush, they'll just focus down onto your peasants. And I missed the surround right there. I missed a frickin' archer surround, and look how much time I gave him to get that archmage. I was feeling rather retarded in that one. So now that creep area is gone, the reason why I put priority into getting rid of that is for the shadow priest that I pick up. That helps me manage those water elementals. I attack it a little bit and then use 2 dispels. Remember to, if you are going to use dispels or abolish magic on a water elemental, level 1 I mean, it can survive 2 directly. I mean, if you do 2 really frickin' fast, yeah, you can probably do it, but if its health regenerates, you still won't be able to get rid of it. So make sure you hit it a few times before you do that, so that way they can't hit the water elemental for themselves, so they can't really get any experience for it. So we're just going to continue on through here. Now, as your Dark Ranger gets some level ups, as you're moving on up here, there is some debate on which would help more, the high level skeletons or the level 3 silence. After playing this match, when I cast silence, a lot of times I wish I had a bigger radius to cover his units, because he did a pretty good job at separating his priests, so it'd be harder for me to get a widespread silence. And plus, human not being able to cast anything for such a long time, 24 seconds, those priests won't be able to do that. So through the whole battle, they won't have any priests. And chances are, through that whole battle, since you have all of these archers and later on dryads, those priests will go down rather quickly. And so, in my opinion, after playing this, you'll need level 3 silence before level 3 black arrow. I mean, a unit with 290 health, that'll put up somewhat of a front. And if the opponent does decide to go for control magic and to try to steal all those summons, they won't be such a harsh loss. And then you can just turn Black Arrow off and it won't be such a loss of investments and skill points. So I can get some insane creeping done with this thing. Ring of Protection plus 4. Now, with a 43% reduction on that Dark Ranger, not bad. So as you can see, you're just moving along very, very quickly into the creeping right here. I missed a wisp, though, on my lumber. So that's one of the things that that you gotta pay attention to. And my biggest suggestion is to expand like crazy. The reason why you want to expand like that is because you want to make the game as long as possible. If the game is long like that, your heroes are going to get some high levels. And with the Dark Ranger at level 6, you can really control some good stuff. For example, you can control the level 4 Shadow Priest. That's the one with heal and inner fire. And your army with inner fire is that much better. You can control the Bloodlust Ogres. You can control just any creep that's level 5. And, of course, your opponents. He can't really make Griffins because that's too much of a loss if he uses Charm on those guys. And so it's just really, really, really difficult. So I get a Book of the Dead. That's even more frickin' insane than the one I have now. I already have enough skeletons as it is. But as you can see, Sonky's ready to get a little bit more expansion going on here. And he's towering it up. That's a very, very wise decision. Because, I mean, with these huntresses I'm starting to make right now, it's just going to get really, really ugly. So, I mean, the key right here, I'm just trying to get as many level ups as I can, getting some really awesome items. 2 Book of the Dead. That is freaking crazy. One thing that I realize right now, I mean, even watching the replay, is, actually, I could try to make a mad dash for this by going to his base, attacking those priests, and then setting off both of the books in the middle of his base. Nah, it'd be a pretty high risk. But then again, I come into his army right here. He nabs a huntress. So, my loss. So here I go. He starts to get into his little skirmish here. He uses his Dispel. I use my Book of the Dead, but I miss one of the priests, and so he just gains all of that experience from it, and it sucked. So that was quite the downer there. So I do get around that Mountain King, but it is not a lesser invulnerability, so that's a disadvantage for me. By the way, I put the Ring of Protection on the Pandaren Brewmaster. As you can see, it kind of helped a little bit here. I'm already level 5 with the Dark Ranger, which is absurd. And here I get greater Dark Minions. Here, a higher level Silence would have done a better job. And here I go. He does a very nice job transferring to that Mountain King, and he is out of there. But look what I have now. I have all these I practically have ghouls on crack with huntresses, and I mean, it's just a nasty combination. Freaking nasty. And here's what what was going through my head right here. I mean, to be honest, I didn't even play this out correctly. I should have attacked him right now, like right frickin' now, because I could just, if I had my Silence, those priests wouldn't be able to do anything. I still have a Book of the Dead. Yeah, I do. I still have a Book of the Dead. And if I just rushed his base right now, I could have just finished this right then and there. But, no, I'm still gonna go through this. So I'm just raising up a bunch of skeletons and all that lovely junk. Then again, I don't know. Maybe those Dark Minions wouldn't have much time to be out there. Maybe he can kill the Pandaren Brewmaster, I don't know. But still, in my opinion, I played this match really, really cautious. Because I was really, really into the idea of pulling the game out long enough for me to get my level 6. Right now I'm pretty close to it too, so I'm ready to make my move soon after I get rid of these creeps. So here I go. The best thing, the most wicked thing you can get. By the way, a good tip when you're getting rid of these creeps, silence them, because it makes these super strong creeps easy as hell to kill, because now they can't do the Inner Fire and Bloodlust, and that is, I think it's fairly easy to say that that's a really good advantage. So, as I was saying, what's really, really wicked is when you pick up a Staff of Silence on your Dark Ranger, just in case you miss any of those priests. Yeah, you can use your staff, and you can use Silence again. And don't worry if your silence from the staff overlaps the one from your skill. It won't recognize the higher level. It won't recognize the lower level if you have a higher level skill on it. So that's even more crazy as hell. So here we go. Sonky's going to go for another expansion here. Picked up a couple towers to get it really, really established. And I am getting ready here. I have 45% damage reduction on the Pandaren Brewmaster, plus 9 defense. That is crazy. 13 defense, I can live with that. So, right now it's at this point where the game is, all the creeps are getting kind of drained out. There's nothing much to finish off at this point. I just got my tier 3, I'm ready to get the bears. As soon as I do that, I'm ready to go. So during that time, instead of just sitting out and doing nothing, I'm going to go to my base, fill up on mana a little bit on my Dark Ranger. So I do that. She's got enough mana right now. Filled up, takes 3 friggin' Moonwells, and I didn't even get a shop. And I am on my way. So I think it's at this point. By the way, if you look at that replay, it has got plenty of time left. We're only about halfway into this. So I'm going to go ahead and scope out for any expansions in the area. First I'm going to see if I can pick up a merc on the way. I noticed that he has a farm, so Now he knows where I am. So I do that. I pick up an ogre mauler. A fairly good thing to pick up. I mean, so it's not... with it being 300 gold and not being able to be upgraded, I think if it was like 280 it would be cooler, but oh well, 20 gold difference. I'm whining too much, I'm sorry. So, here I go. I'm gonna wait a little bit just to see. I planted a wisp at the Goblin Lab so I can scope out for some expansions. I do see that he has 2 expansions, and if he out-expands me, then I might be in a little bit of trouble. So I'm just going to go ahead with this and take out that guard tower. This is the point in the game, by the way, when I realized that a level 3 silence would have done a lot better for me. So here I go. I'm waiting for him to TP. He TP's really far away, so I miss on the silence here. I try to get those priests, which I do. There I go. I get the cluster of priests right there. And that's the thing that he kinda screwed on. It's because he got those priests way too into a cluster. What he did, he put the priests all in a force group, and he just moved them out of the way, and they all moved in the same little block. So that was pretty bad, and so that was able to get surrounded. What you can do, you can put them in, you can divide them in half. Half goes into the group where the spellbreakers are, half of them would go into the other group where, if you have riflemen, ranged, your archmage even, just keep them divided so they don't cluster like that. So, and I TP'd out of there, which I wasn't doing a bad job in that, but I think I could have just popped the invulnerability. Or did I have that on the panda and I transferred? I don't remember. But with the Book of the Dead, I'm just going to make use of it. Get a few items, level up the panda a little bit. Because once I get that level 5 Breath of Fire, then it's even worse. I swear. At the end of this, by the way, guys, I'll tell you some things that human can do to help go against this, but it's not really going to be anything too crazy. Because, I mean, I can just... I don't know. I can tell you guys are pretty pissed that this shit's going around. So, anyways, he catches that expo. Here I go. He dispels all of those. Can't really do much. I'm trying to move out of the way, so he's trying to dispel, and maybe I can waste some of his mana. But I use that as a cord just to kind of tug on his army a little bit while I take some time to go pick up some items. I make sure that my Dark Ranger is protected. And ready to make the move here. A mass of Spellbreakers, which is probably the best bet, since they can't really make any skeletons or anything. But here I am. He's doing an awesome job, by the way, of keeping those priests out of the way. So I'm fighting this battle to get level 6 on the Dark Ranger. I managed to use my silence on all of those priests, but he had another one, so he just dispels that. That's why you have to get all of them. So I just used a Drunken Fire on all the priests. I managed to kill a pretty good amount of those. And I know that on one end he's trying to kill the Dark Ranger, so I just silence whatever I can get my hands on and just run out of the way while I have a good backdoor entrance to his army there. And I just kind of go in circles into this, I suppose. So, getting closer and closer to level 6, he's not paying attention to his rallies, and so he loses a breaker in that process. So close to level 6, this sucks. I do, however, get level 5 on the panda, so I guess that's cool. So, afterwards, obviously, I have priority on this map. I have the ground, and I can pretty much do whatever I want for about a couple minutes now. So I'm just going to take a little bit of time, buy some items, because I have a lot of gold right now during that whole entire battle, because I apparently didn't press the hotkey on my buildings. So I have a lot of gold right now. And I think it's because... what was I saving up for? Crap. I'm going to get a few bears. What are my freaking upgrades? Alright, so here I go. Just getting rid of all this crap. Like I said, I didn't want anyone to know who that name was, so I just played it stupid. So anyways, I'm just gonna take out the expo. I get my level 6 charm, so basically the game's over. Sucks for human. I bet Tillerman would be creaming his pants at this point because if you remember back in the day, he hated human. If he sees this, he'll be, oh god, yes, this is the shit. Oh god. God, I love that shit. Fucking human in balance. You can deal with this shit. Oh god. Anyways, seeing a Night Elf unit die gets me flaccid. Alright, so anyways, I'm gonna pick up some mercs before I rush in here. That's what I was saving up for. I was getting mercs. But I was afraid of getting into high upkeep, but I got into that right now, and, well, I have another expansion coming up, so I said, screw it. Going into this. So here I go. Spellbreakers make great things to control here. So just using silence over and over again. Now that I see mortar teams, those are next on the charm list, because holy crap, if you charm one of the mortars, it's just insane. They're the best things to charm. Oh god, I love that shit. Anyways, stop with the Tillerman thing here. A lot of crap going on in the battle. Archmages, whenever they're close to the front, you just take them out. Same thing goes to mortar teams. I lose the panda, so what? The Dark Ranger's still alive and well. And my cooldown is just about ready to control another Spellbreaker. There I go, got another one. And he is slowly losing unit after unit. And I realize that I don't want to get into too much trouble. I realize that I don't have to rush this. I can take my time. I got level 6. What am I doing? So I TP out of there. That's what I plan on doing for a little while, is to just run across his army. If I see something, I'll nab it. Just keep on doing it. Also known as being an annoying prick. So, taking a... wait, I do? Yeah, I still have 2 breakers in the army here. Flippin' sweet. Alright, so... what next? What is something that I can tell you? I mean, your best bet, Spellbreakers. That'll do a good job, but I'm trying to think of what would suck for me the most. What sucked for him was the battle when he had just like a few footmen and the 2 troll mercs with his MK and stuff like that happened like where my army's at like right now. That kind of screwed him. He stayed in that a little too long, I guess. And I mean, it only sped up the inevitable in my opinion. So, I don't know. So here I go. Just gotta run on by. I don't know if I saw his army or not, or I was going there just to check for expos. What was I doing? Anyways, I catch him. So I just run into the back line. I start attacking the priests. I mean, the order of units to attack, obviously, are dryads to priests. If possible, bears go to mortars, and otherwise go to the Spellbreakers, because they'll die fairly quickly. And so here I go again, bears to mortars. I see that, stealing more minions here. And the Archmage comes in. If the Archmage is anywhere in the front, you take him out. He's taking some time to cast Blizzard. Those are key points in battles. When you see an Archmage start to cast Blizzard, he's got to stand still to cast that. So I realized that that'll give me a little bit of time. Go in, kill the AM. There's the game. So obviously it pissed him off greatly, but basically to show you that it doesn't really take a lot to use this strategy well. You just have to have some good timing with it, and it'll pretty much play itself out. For people using this strategy, a few things. Number one, people are going to hate you. You will really piss them off. You will. One thing is that if you get them to TP, that is really good. Use your level 3 silence, not the level 2 that I had. Use your level 3 silence, and just get it ready as soon as they hit the ground. Just cast it right away. It'll cover totally where they TP, and their priest will be useless throughout the whole battle. They can't dispel those insane amounts of friggin' skeletons on them, and usually you can win a battle like that. But play it fairly defensively, not as defensively as I played, because I really didn't do so well. I talked with him after the game, and he still didn't know who I was, and I still felt pretty bad about it. But, I mean, I still feel kind of bad about doing this audio, since, I mean, he's whooped my ass in, like, 3 games before this, but it even proves more of how absurd this strategy is. But for human, what you can get to tier 3 fairly quickly and get a paladin. And, Holy Light, Dark Rangers are undead, and if you kill off that Dark Ranger really, really quickly, that's probably your best bet. It's kind of hard because the Dark Ranger's a ranged hero, and she's kind of back there a bit, so you gotta find a really good spot, and that's if you're not silenced, to cast any of those spells. And, Archetype Charming. I know, charming, pun intended. Anyways, you just bolt them. Use your Holy Light on them. I would recommend getting, for the skills, I would recommend getting Holy Light, then getting, obviously, Divine Shield, then Holy Light again, but then get your Devotion Aura. So, and then obviously your level 3 skill being Holy Light. But getting a Paladin does help pretty well. I played another game where somebody got a Paladin, and he almost beat me with it. I don't have the replay with that, but I played it on my Cecil account. But anyways, a Paladin, separating your priests into separate force groups just to make it harder for them to cast a silence. And what else? Breakers help. Get mortars a little earlier than Sankey did in this game, because if you have mortars with the fragmentation upgrade, those dryads really won't last very long, and if he still has any huntresses remaining, you take those out too. For the build order, this is the Night Elf part. For the build order on the Night Elf part, I would get your Hunter's Hall before you upgrade to tier 2. And so, oh, it's thundering outside. It's actually raining in Florida. Shit. What was I saying? The build, oh yeah, but instead of just teching right away, with the first 100 lumber that you get a Hunter's Hall, and then with the next 180, actually, once you build your Hunter's Hall, get another Wisp in the middle of that, and then upgrade to your tier 2. And once your Hunter's Hall is finished, start getting some Huntresses. That'll help go against the Footmen. That'll maybe persuade them into getting Riflemen, which will die pretty quickly to the Bears, and will be perfect charm bait if they don't have anything else. Because the Riflemen, those are more of a problem, believe it or not, than the Breakers. Because those Breakers have medium armor. Anyways, I'll see you later, guys.